All right, guys, welcome back to the channel where today I am sneaking into producer Rich and Jared's house to get a game room tour. I know you guys have been looking for a game room tour and we're finally gonna bring it to you, but they don't really know I'm coming, so we'll see what happens, if they're even home. So stay tuned.
Hey, what are you doing here?
I didn't know you were home, and we're gonna do a game room tour. Is that cool?
Oh, I guess so.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the channel, and as always, thanks for tuning in. As you can tell, we are not actors, but we did want to have some fun with this video, so that's what you got at the beginning there. But let's get started. So producer Rich and Jared, this is their game room, and you'll see they have a lot of retro stuff along with a lot of Xbox. Not a ton of Nintendo. You'll see some Nintendo, but not a ton. So if that's what you're looking for, stay tuned for my game room where I have a ton of Nintendo stuff because I'm a Nintendo freak. But nonetheless, here's some Wii stuff. That's probably the biggest Nintendo collection they have is Wii. They have a decent size collection on that, but nothing too major. Jared is big into Fallout, so here's all the Fallout stuff that they have. He loves it. It's his favorite game, and he also loves Dreamcast, so they bought some of this cool Dreamcast stuff that they have. You see that keyboard there and the little arcade stick. Now we're moving into the Tomb Raider stuff. This is all producer Rich's stuff. He really likes Tomb Raider. It doesn't matter what movie of Tomb Raider, what game, anything Tomb Raider, he's into it. As you can see, there's DVDs, dolls, Hot Wheels, anything he can get his hands on Tomb Raider, he does. So he has a pretty massive collection of Tomb Raider stuff, at least to me. And a lot of it is cool. Unlike me, he does open a lot of this stuff. Other than this memory card here, this is still sealed. But all the other stuff he opens, and I normally leave it sealed. He left that one sealed too, in the middle there. We picked that up at one of our last gaming convention videos. But he only left that one sealed because he has a open version of that as well. Again, continuing on with more Tomb Raider stuff. This whole back wall and side wall is just filled with Tomb Raider stuff. He's a real big fan of it. I'm not quite sure why, but he really does like his Tomb Raider. Now, after the Tomb Raider stuff, Jared's a big fan of Resident Evil, so he has his Jill Valentine stuff here. He has that little case or casing that we used to make fun of him for that he bought. And then he has this Jill poster. Still hasn't hung it up, so it's just leaning against the door. Actually, behind that door, too, is a sim room. We have a full-on sim racing setup in there. We'll do a video on that at another time. Even though Jared and producer Rich aren't the biggest PlayStation fanboys, they do have a lot of PS2 stuff, and a lot of this is from when we were kids. So that's where a lot of this is. And then they're also a little easier to find at some of these thrift stores. So you'll see a lot of those have those thrift store looking stickers on them. And that's because we were able to find those maybe at a Goodwill or a local thrift store. Most of the stuff they're going to have is Xbox, as I alluded to earlier. So you see all the Xbox One stuff here. They don't like to keep a lot of their stuff alphabetically ordered. And the reason for that is they just keep picking up more and more stuff. And when you do that, sometimes you pick up a certain letter, you got to put that right in the middle and it moves a bunch of stuff. So they'd rather just put it all in there as they get it. Now here's the OG Xbox stuff along with Xbox 360. They have a ton of this as well. A lot of this, again, is from when we were kids. But some of it, especially Xbox 360, we've been seeing a lot of that out at thrift stores. And a lot of these came from there as well. The actual racks these are hanging on the wall are obviously made by us, and we'll do a video on that too. We saw another channel do it. I don't remember the channel that made these racks on the wall, but they're rather easy to put up, cheap, and they're customizable for you know, any size game that you'd want to put on those racks. Here we're getting into the actual consoles. So this back wall here is where all the consoles are connected. You'll see the switches up top and the sound system. Everything's connected to where all we have to do is click a switch or flip a switch, and we can select that console to play on the desired television that we have in the room here. So now the consoles that are HDMI are going to that TV there, or some of the newer ones that we have a little composite to HDMI box are going to that flat screen there. We also have, which you'll see here in a little bit, an old tube TV that we have the really retro stuff connected to. Now this rack here too, I think was bought and we kind of just put it together. It wasn't all that expensive, and it's good to hold the consoles. It might not look the fanciest, but it definitely is price friendly, and it holds all the stuff. You can get to all of it really easy, and it was a little bit easier to manipulate or maneuver some of the cords and things through the slats there, which is nice because, again, like we said, this is all hooked up, so at any moment we can just click the switch and play whatever console we want, versus needing to, you know, turn the TV around, put an HDMI in, or plug in the composites or things like that. So this rack is really cool for that. And if you'd like, let us know, leave a comment. We can kind of do a video on how we ran everything and set it up as well. And here's just an overview of all the consoles on that rack. Just a once over so you can kind of see how it all looks from a little bit further back. Now on this wall, like I talked about, this is where we have our old tube TV, or our old CRT. It's nothing fancy, but it gets the job done. And it's just great to play these older games, N64 and things a little bit older than that, on one of these, because it looks really good, but it's also easy to set up and easy to keep hooked up. And this is just some extra controllers and things that we have that we don't really want to display, but we want to have some storage for them. Now these consoles here, these ones aren't hooked up. These are more for display only. This GameCube had some weird skin on it we thought was kind of cool. Not quite sure too much about it, but I think we got it at a buy sell trade event, and so it's cool to have. Again, cool kind of just to display it, nothing too crazy. Now this last rack is where they have their retro stuff, along with some Nintendo stuff. So up top there you see the 32X and the Sega Saturn, along with some boxed N64 games, which Jared thinks are super dope, even though they're super faded. Always gives me crap about it. And then he also has some PlayStation and Dreamcast stuff. Jared's favorite console is Dreamcast, so no surprise here that his Dreamcast collection is actually larger than a lot of his Nintendo collections. He's been working a lot on the N64 and the GameCube, so they've grown a little bit over the last couple of months. But he still has some work to do there, in my estimation. Alrighty, and that's going to do it for the game room tour. So I'll have my game room tour come up here shortly. But if you liked this video, if you like Jared and producer Rich's collection, please click the like and subscribe. If there's anything you want us to do here in the future, please let us know. And above all else, appreciate you tuning in. And until next time, peace.
Hey, what's going on? What are you doing here?
Oh, I didn't know you were here. We're gonna do a game room tour.
Okay.